Support for the roundup comes from Symphony 3, allowing councils to connect their systems securely, to automate their data flows and to monitor performance in real time. And right now, councils are lining up for their own emergency dashboard, like the one that Symphony 3 has created for the city of Greater Bendigo. The dashboard helps keep the community safe and prepared before, during and after emergencies. It pulls together live data, including weather data, traffic data, emergency incidents, unplanned and planned disruptions, news and social media feeds. Visit www.symphony3.com to learn how you can get an emergency dashboard for your community. Just ahead, council leaders sleeping out to highlight homelessness. A former CEO admits forging a signature on her employment contract. Demergers press ahead in New South Wales. A cyber attack against a Sydney council under investigation. An inquiry into Queensland's councillor complaints system. The Sunshine Coast's tough new budget. Hobart headed for a wide-open Lord Mayoral election race. And a row in Adelaide over the site for a relocated MotoGP. Hello, I'm Chris Eddy. That's all just ahead and much more on Australia's #1 local government podcast, the Local Government News Roundup. Brought to you by the Victorian Local Governance Association, the national broadcaster on all things local government, Symphony 3, simple connected customer experiences, and Rath Engineering Development, smarter local government systems built from real on-the-ground experience. It's Friday the 5th of June. Thanks for joining us wherever you're listening across Australia or around the world. Starting in Victoria, where Frankston City Council leaders will sleep out this month to highlight a 4-year high in local rough sleeping, with May figures showing 59 people without shelter in the municipality each night. Mayor Sue Baker and CEO Tennille Bradley are using the initiative to call for $2.5 million in state funding over 4 years to expand local outreach teams. The proposed funding would enable additional outreach works to strengthen the Frankston and Mornington Peninsula Zero project. The Frankston leaders will join Northern Grampians Shire CEO Brent McAllister in signing up for the sleep out, which is taking place later this month. The City of Melbourne is investing $2.3 million into homelessness initiatives as part of its new budget. The funding will double the number of specialist frontline workers on the streets through the new Melbourne Outreach Team, run in partnership with Launch Housing and Nguala Willimbong. A new safe space program led by Vincent Kerr will also be established. Lord Mayor Nick Rees said the investment represents the city's largest ever boost to on-street outreach. Loddon Shire Council's CEO, Lincoln Fitzgerald, has been reappointed to the role. Councillors have secured Mr Fitzgerald under a new 5-year contract, which will take effect from the 1st of November. Mayor Dan Straub praised his leadership through major challenges, including the 2022 and 2023 floods, and he said the extension positions the rural municipality well for its upcoming council plan. The City of Port Phillip has secured unanimous backing for its policy agenda at the Municipal Association of Victoria State Council. All 7 motions submitted by the council were adopted by a strong majority, targeting key regional priorities including housing supply, coastal infrastructure and active transport funding. Notably, Port Phillip's motion to boost council-led social cohesion and counter religious intolerance was designated a key resolution by the MAV. Mount Alexander Shire Council has received a significant number of community submissions regarding a proposed $1.9 million dog breeding facility in Elphinston, according to the Bendigo Advertiser. The application for the 150-dog centre remains on public advertising until June 16. Council officers will then determine if the application meets the thresholds required to be tabled before councillors for a formal decision under the Shire's planning permit delegation policy. Moorabool Shire Council has confirmed its long-awaited indoor aquatic centre is moving ahead following the signing of a federal funding agreement. It says the milestone ensures the delivery of a year-round facility, eliminating the need for local schools to bus students outside the municipality for swimming and water safety programs. The council says the centre will reduce travel times and family costs while serving as a major community health and recreation hub. And Monash Council has adopted a refreshed public health approach to reducing gambling harm across its municipality, including targeted support for higher risk groups such as young people, older women and those experiencing financial hardship. The policy also sets clearer guidelines for local sporting clubs and community organisations to shift away from gambling-based fundraising. Electronic gambling machine losses in the area reached $126 million over the 2024 to 25 financial period, placing Monash among Victoria's top 10 local government areas for pokies losses. To New South Wales, a former council chief executive has admitted to forging a witness signature on her $500,000 employment contract to prevent councillors from blocking her appointment. ABC News reported that Gail Connolly, the former CEO of the City of Parramatta Council, told the state's corruption watchdog yesterday that she traced a colleague's signature onto her contract using light from a window to get it signed before a rescission motion could be voted on by council. Ms Connolly initially told ICAC she'd simply written over the electronic signature of friend and associate Roxanne Thornton, who had witnessed the signing via FaceTime. But counsel assisting the inquiry pointed to clear differences between the two signatures, prompting Ms Connolly to revise her account. Ms Connolly is also facing allegations she misused public funds, leaked confidential documents and helped place associates into senior council positions. She's the last witness to take the stand as the 4-week public hearing draws towards a close and will continue giving evidence today. Cootamundra-Gundagai Regional Council is pushing ahead with its historic demerger, racing towards a July 2027 deadline to split back into two independent entities. According to a report from the Daily Telegraph, transition teams have abandoned a simple population-based funding split in favour of a forensic transaction review. This comes amid warnings that dividing externally restricted reserves could force one of the future councils into immediate debt to repay its partner. Meanwhile, recruitment for two new general managers is scheduled to begin, with the successful candidates to be in place by April next year. Expressions of interest are now open for the Snowy Valleys Council De-Amalgamation Steering Committee. The council is seeking 6 community representatives, split evenly between the northern and southern regions, to work alongside elected officials and executive staff. Chief Transition Officer Nicole Jenkins noted the committee will provide vital oversight to ensure the future councils reflect local priorities. An investigation is underway in Sydney's north after a cyber attack on a third-party software provider exposed the data of Mossman Council residents. The council confirmed the breach involves an external digital platform used to manage community services, with personal information linked to the Mossman Square Seniors Centre believed to be affected. Mossman Council has engaged an external cybersecurity firm to determine the extent of the leak and says its core internal systems remain secure. According to reporting by the Daily Telegraph, affected individuals are currently being contacted with recommended remediation steps. Hawkesbury City Council has struck a deal with Sydney Water to hand over the Windsor sewer scheme, serving around 8,500 homes and businesses in the region. From the 1st of July, customers will receive their wastewater bills directly from Sydney Water, with Mayor Les Sheether promising lower bills as a result. Council will retain ownership of the McGrath's Hill treatment facility under contract. Wollongong City Council has welcomed a Land and Environment Court judgment regarding development plans for the historic Illawarra Hotel. The decision provides a pathway forward for the 88-year-old building's renovation while addressing the council's heritage concerns. Under the amended application, the hotel will retain key original fabric on its first 2 levels and adhere to a detailed schedule of conservation works. The Illawarra Mercury has reported the outcome as a win for the hotel in its fight against council planning bureaucracy. And Kiama councillor Matt Brown has been awarded the prestigious National Medal for his 35 years of diligent service with the Kiama Surf Life Saving Club. Presented by local MP Caitlin McInerney, the medal honours Councillor Brown's long-standing dedication to protecting the community during coastal emergencies. The Queensland Government has launched a parliamentary inquiry into the system for handling complaints against local councillors, a process that receives around 1,000 complaints every year. Leader of the House, Dr Christian Rowan, announced the probe, which will examine the effectiveness of the Office of the Independent Assessor and the Councillor Conduct Tribunal. The Sydney Morning Herald reported that the inquiry follows mounting criticism of the complaints framework, particularly from Redlands City Council, southeast of Brisbane, the council with the highest number of complaints in the state. Local Government Minister Anne Lay says the government will change legislation if required to ensure the system is, quote, fit for purpose. The committee is due to report back to Parliament by the 6th of November. Sunshine Coast Council has handed down a budget featuring a 10% rates increase and 130 job cuts as it moves to address a 5-year run of deficits and a remaining $7 million shortfall. Dog registration fees will more than double, rising to $63, according to ABC News. The staffing reductions will save $15 million annually, while Councillor Taylor Bunnag has additionally floated selling or leasing the council's new $98 million City Hall and introducing a tourist bed tax. The tough budget comes as councillors are set to receive a 3.25% increase in pay. According to the Courier Mail, Mayor Rosanna Natoli's salary will climb to $266,000, while Sunshine Coast councillors will get $162,000 after the 1st of July. Isaac Regional Council is proposing a new Isaac Future Fund to help secure long-term services as coal mining declines. The plan would divert millions each year by cutting early payment rate discounts for mining leases, workforce accommodation and renewables projects, while keeping discounts for other ratepayers unchanged. Council says the fund could grow to around $50 million before being invested, with a long-term goal of building it to $500 million to cushion future generations from sharp rate rises. Southern Downs Regional Council has proactively tightened water restrictions for Stanthorpe in response to declining levels at Storm King Dam. Under the newly locked-in framework, low-level restrictions will completely ban sprinklers and water play toys, while medium and high-level triggers will enforce stricter alternate-day watering schedules and vehicle washing limits. Mayor Melissa Hamilton says the measures aim to prudently manage supplies ahead of a dry winter, following strong community feedback advocating for early action. More from Warwick Today and Stanthorpe Today. And Rockhampton Regional Council has delivered over 130 kilometres of road repairs, grading and re-sheeting across 80 roads in the first quarter of the year. Part of the ongoing Better Safer Roads program, the works target critical rural and urban connections, including Westwood and Gracemere. Infrastructure Councillor Marika Taylor says the maintenance is essential to extending asset life and delivering long-term value for ratepayers across the region's 1,900-kilometre network. Down to Tasmania, and Hobart is heading for a wide-open Lord Mayoral contest after Lord Mayor Anna Reynolds confirmed she won't seek re-election at October's council vote and will step down in August to take up a role with the Global Solar Council. ABC News reported that 3 sitting councillors, Ryan Posselt, Bill Harvey and Louise Bloomfield, have already declared their intentions, while John Kelly and Marty Zucco say they're still considering a run. The campaign will unfold as Hobart City Council prepares to shrink from 12 members to 9, with candidates promising to lift standards and address what some have described as a toxic chamber culture. Bloomfield, an alderman and accountant, has formally launched her bid, telling Pulse Tasmania she wants to prioritise affordable rates, support for business, safer streets and better maintenance and accessibility of roads, footpaths and public spaces. Kingborough Council has won Tasmania's Excellence in Sports Turf Management Award, recognising high-quality maintenance at the Kingborough Sports Precinct. Acting Mayor Christian Street says the honour places Kingborough among the nation's top performers, with all state winners now in the running for the national title, to be announced on the 22nd of June in Melbourne. A row has erupted between the South Australian Government and Adelaide City Council over a proposed major MotoGP event in the city's parklands. Premier Peter Malinauskas has heavily criticised the council, labelling them a cabal driven by minority interests that's trying to derail a major state economic booster. But Lord Mayor Jane Lomax-Smith defended the council's position, stating they have every right to seek information about the impact on the historic parklands, suggesting the event's pain might not be worth the gain for the city. More details on that from the Advertiser, which also reports on South Australian councils under pressure as proposed rate increases outpace inflation. Holdfast Bay and Mitcham are leading metropolitan Adelaide with proposed residential rate rises of up to 6.6%, driven by infrastructure costs. Regionally, increases are even higher, with Berry-Barmera proposing an 8.7% hike amid ongoing financial sustainability challenges. And a smelly situation in Adelaide South is causing a rift among neighbours, with local authorities admitting their hands are tied, according to the Advertiser. A frustrated Marion Council resident has kicked up a stink after catching someone dumping bagged dog poo into their private green organic bin right after it had been emptied. While it's a headache for homeowners left with a foul-smelling bin for the next fortnight, Marion Council has confirmed there are currently no government laws or local bylaws that prohibit someone from placing waste into another resident's household bin. They say it's strictly a civil matter and are urging neighbours to politely ask offenders to stop. And in Western Australia, a renewed push to allow unattached trailers, caravans and boats to be parked on residential verges in Perth's north has been knocked back. Perth Now reported that the City of Joondalup Council has unanimously rejected a petition signed by more than 550 residents. Under current local laws, trailers must be hitched to a vehicle, with breaches carrying a $100 fine. Council officers cited safety, amenity and enforcement concerns. And the City of Fremantle has formally adopted a statement of commitment to child safety and well-being, reflecting the findings of the Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse. The commitment applies across all council services, facilities and community spaces. The initiative marks a key milestone in the city's broader Child Safe organisation project, embedding compliance and cultural safety into local governance. This is the Local Government News Roundup for Friday the 5th of June, a compact episode to round out the week and bring us into the long weekend for some. I hope it's going to be an enjoyable weekend for you if you're able to enjoy a long weekend. You might be able to tell I'm slightly under the weather, so I'm looking forward to taking the long weekend to throw this wretched winter cold, which I know many of you have told me is going around. Let's finish up with some global news across to New Zealand, where Wellington's Deputy Mayor is fuming over a $600,000 bill for a website to promote the capital's newly reopened Central Library. The New Zealand Herald reported that Ben McNulty believes the price tag is atrocious, pointing out a similar site could have been built for a 40th of the cost. The revelation hit especially hard, he says, coming the day after the council was forced to knock back $3 million worth of community funding applications. The council says a project like this would be unlikely to be approved today. To the US and in LA, NBC News reports that incumbent Mayor Karen Bass has advanced to the November runoff election following Tuesday's primary. She faces a tight race against reality TV personality Spencer Pratt, whose Pacific Palisades home was destroyed in last year's wildfires, and City Council member Nithya Raman. No candidate clinched a majority, and the top two finishers, when known, will face off in the general election on the 3rd of November. Here's a story from Egypt, which has officially launched Africa's first driverless monorail network, taking a massive leap towards sustainable transit. The all-electric Cairo monorail opened its doors to passengers on the East Nile route, connecting the bustling metropolis to the rapidly developing new administrative capital. Once fully completed, the network will stretch over 60 miles, dethroning China for the longest monorail system in the world, according to CNN. Built by French manufacturer Alstom, the eco-friendly fleet is expected to shuttle 500,000 passengers daily, drastically cutting down Cairo's legendary traffic congestion. And let's finish with some news from Canada. St John's City Councillor Tom Davis has been suspended for 1 month with pay after an independent investigation found comments he made created what's described as a poisoned work environment. CBC News reports that Davis will undergo workplace professionalism and sensitivity training and receive a formal reprimand. He has apologised. Meanwhile, Vancouver City Council has voted not to sanction Mayor Ken Sim despite an integrity investigation finding that he misused the influence of his office and harassed Councillor Sean Orr. All 6 ABC councillors voted against the action. 4 others backed sanctions, while Councillor Sim declared a conflict and did not vote. The Canadian city of Prince Albert is moving forward with a plan to join Health Canada's National Wastewater Drug Surveillance Program. As reported by CTV News, the local council has voted to sign an MOU to monitor local sewage for over 550 unique substances and metabolites. And Canada's Yellowknife City Council is considering a bylaw amendment to expand its $1 land sales to all non-profit affordable housing providers. Currently restricted to Habitat for Humanity, the initiative aims to fast-track development to address a critical shortfall of over 1,000 homes. Critics on council have raised concerns regarding governance and ensuring strict vetting for participating non-profits. According to a report from the CBC, city staff will present formal recommendations on the policy this August. That's our Friday 5th of June edition of the Local Government News Roundup, episode number 591. You can find out more about the stories in the episode by heading to lgnewsroundup.com. If you have comments or feedback or story ideas, you can email me at chris@lgnewsroundup.com. Our podcast is brought to you with the support of our founding sponsor, the Victorian Local Governance Association, the national broadcaster on all things local government, Symphony 3, simple, connected customer experiences, and Rath Engineering Development, smarter local government systems built from real on-the-ground experience. The Local Government News Roundup is recorded in the city of Greater Geelong, Victoria, on the land of the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation. Our next episode comes your way on Tuesday. Until then, thanks for listening, and bye for now. Support for the Local Government News Roundup comes from Rath Engineering Development, smarter systems for local government, like Red GMS, helping councils manage gravel pits and projects, track quality, test results, blending options and haulage, and know the true cost per tonne from day one. Rath Engineering Development can give you a one-off report that uses your existing pit data to pinpoint the best gravel sources for your next resheeting program or disaster restoration works, saving your council time and money. For local government systems built from real on-the-ground experience, talk to the team at Rath Engineering Development. Head to rathed.com.au to find out more.